Good morning, my vibrations. It's V to the I to the B to the mother of 5E. And okay, here I am with verse number 32 of Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. Now, I know yesterday's vlog is not up, but I did upload it. I didn't get back until late, and it was like 5 hours to upload, and that was like at 11 something. So I had to go to bed. I was tired. So it should be uploaded now, and all I have to do is like edit my words and I'll put it up. And I did want to show you guys that I do actually have the Tao Te Ching, the actual one by Lao Tzu, the actual book that this is based off of. I have not read this book yet, but here is the actual one. And maybe we'll venture into this. Maybe I'll make this like a series where we just read together. How about that? So here's this book that I have. Okay. The 32nd verse is living the perfect goodness of the Tao. The eternal Tao has no name. Although simple and subtle, no one in the world can master it. If kings and lords could harness them, that 10,000 things would naturally obey. Heaven and earth would rejoice with the dripping of sweet dew. Everyone would live in harmony, not by official decree, but by their own goodness. Once the whole is divided, the parts need names. There are already enough names. Know when to stop. Know when reason sets limits to avoid peril. Rivers and streams are born of the ocean, and all of creation is born of the Tao. Just as all water flows back to become the ocean, all creation flows back to become the Tao. Living the perfect goodness of the Tao. Okay, so that's what, oh gosh. All right, that's what this verse is. In this verse, Lao Tzu describes the ecstasy of being truly on the same page as your source. What you might describe as open-heartedness or joy is the simple and subtle flow of the Tao energy that's responsible for all of life. And no effort on your part is necessary. Lao Tzu opens this verse with a reminder that no one, not you, me, or even the most powerful king or dictator, can rein in or master this force known as the Tao. If it were under our control, then all of nature and its 10,000 things would celebrate because we live in peace and harmony. When we're able to live and breathe the perfect goodness that is the Tao, wars, famine, conflict, and other negative human creations cease to exist. The challenge presented in this 32nd verse of the Tao Te Ching is how to live in our physical world in unison with the eternal, always molding and always creating Tao. Look at what you desire to bring into your life. Then, in context of this sweet verse, feel grateful for everything you encounter. Express gratitude by riding the flow of your existence and allowing it to be your ally. You can steer while still enjoying this glorious ride, but if you elect to fight it, you'll ultimately get pulled under by its current. This is true for every aspect of your life. The more you push against it, the more resistance you create. Be aware of anything that's directing you toward activities that truly ignite your passion. If events seem to be taking you in a new direction in your work, for instance, or signs point to changing your job or location, pay attention. Don't get pulled under by refusing to budge and continuing a familiar, frustrating routine, and then justifying your fear of change. Recognize the Tao energy coursing through your life and quit fighting your calling. I watch my young son on a surfboard each day of the summer here on Maui. He loves the thrilling ride as he accelerates by going with the wave. He's not attempting to control it by prolonging it or forcing it to move in a different direction. I use this as a metaphor for my own life, for I write in the flow. I allow thoughts and ideas to come in and move onto the page. I allow myself to be carried by the great wave of the Tao in all of my decisions, which brings me peace. That's because I trust in the perfect goodness of the Tao to guide me, direct me, and take me where it will. You and I are like the rivers and streams that Lao Tzu mentions in this verse. We were born of the Tao, our source of being, and we're returning to the Tao. The return trip is inevitable. It can't be stopped. So watch your body as it goes through its changes, noting that it does so in the same way that the rivers head down to the ocean to reemerge and become one with it. You and I are like the rivers and streams that Lao Tzu mentions in this verse. I'm going to read it again anyway. You and I are like the rivers and streams that Lao Tzu mentions in this verse. We are born of the Tao, our source of being, and we're returning to the Tao. The return trip is inevitable. It can't be stopped. So watch your body as it goes through changes, noting that it does so in the same way that the rivers head down to the ocean to emerge and become one with it. Lao Tzu urges you to know when to stop driving yourself, advising you to instead jump into the oneness and avoid all manner of difficulties that he calls your peril. Flow with the Tao in everything you do. Give up the need to be in charge, which is just your ego working overtime. You cannot force the Tao. Let it carry you by relaxing into it and with trust and faith. As you ride this glorious wave of the Tao, consider this advice from Alan Watts in Tao, the Watercourse Way. Let your ears hear whatever they want to hear. Let your ears see whatever they want to see. Let your mind think whatever it wants to think. Let your lungs breathe in their own rhythm. Do not expect any special result, for in this wordless and idealist state, where can there be past or future, and where any notion of purpose? One more time. Do not expect any special result, for in this wordless and idealist state, where can there be past or future, and where any notion of purpose? I'm not sure if that's a typo, but weird. Okay, stop, look, and listen right now before you go on reading. Yes, get in the perfect goodness of the Tao right now in your business, in your relationships, in your career, in your everything. Stop, listen for your passion, and then allow yourself to be taken there by the ceaseless tide of creation, which continues in spite of your ego's opinions. Here's what Lao Tzu seems to be saying to you through me about implementing the idea of the 32nd verse of the Tao Te Ching. Pay attention to the flow of your life. Remind yourself that you don't have to be in charge, that, in fact, it's impossible for you to be in charge. The nameless force, which Lao Tzu calls the Tao, moves everything, so your continual argument with it only causes dissatisfaction. Each day, practice letting go and seeing where you're directed. Take note of who shows up and when. Observe the strange coincidences that seem to collaborate with fate in some way to steer you in a new direction. Keep track of situations that occur spontaneously or out of the realm of your control. Look for a new joyous feeling within you. As you move in the direction of loosening the leash, so to speak, you'll become keenly aware of the exhilaration of the Tao flowing through you. Begin to see what passions are stirred up as you allow the ride to be directed by your source rather than ego. These joyous feelings are clues that you're beginning to harmonize with what Lao Tzu calls your own goodness. Your enthusiastic inner receptivity is your reminder that all is perfect, so trust the energy. Here's Do the Tao Now. Pick a time today, perhaps between noon and 4, to consciously free your mind from attempting to control the events of your life. Go for a walk or simply let yourself be carried along. Let your feet go where they will. Observe everything in your line of vision. Notice your breath, the sounds you hear, the wind, the cloud formations, the humidity, the temperature, everything. Simply let yourself be immersed and transported, and notice how it feels to just go with the flow. Now decide to let freedom be your guide. Realize that traffic, the people in your life, the stock exchange, the weather, the tides, all of it is taking place at its own pace, in its own way. You can move with the eternal perfect Tao as well. Be it now. There you go. There is the 32nd verse of the Tao. I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh boy, I'm about to get myself dressed so that I could go and get this Buns and Guns challenge out. Not sure I'm going to do both back to back, but I'm going to get one of them out. So I'll see you guys later for my Guns and Buns and for day 41, I believe, and 42. All right, guys. Good morning. I'll see you later. Sorry.